All right, we are open up to last night's math homework, which was page 503 and 504. EOC, stay at your desk, please. Let's go ahead and correct. The math website is not working still, so we are doing it from my book. All right, so here's page 503. So we had, okay, let's look at number 1, and then I'll scroll down so you can see the bottom ones better. So number 1, it said if you wanted to, you could use the number line to help you, but you didn't have to. If we take 5 and we multiply it by 3/4, that would be less than 5 because we're multiplying by 3/4. 3/4 is less than 1. So the answer to this would be less than the whole number 5. Are there questions on number 1? How do we feel about number 1? Do we feel good? Good. Awesome. Then I'm going to scroll down. So 3 through 8, same thing. We're putting less than, greater than, or equal to. Okay, so we had 3 through 5. So number 3, if we take 5 1/3 and we multiply it by 2 3/4, what is it going to be in comparison to just 5 1/3? Well, if we're multiplying 5 1/3 by 2 3/4, that's greater than 1. So that means 5 1/3 times 2 3/4 will be greater than just 5 1/3. How did we do on number 3? How did we do on number 3? Okay. Awesome. Then we have number 4, where we're taking 10 3/4, and we're multiplying it by 2 halves, 2 over 2. That would be equal to 10 3/4 because we know when there's a fraction in the numerator and denominator are the same, that's the same as the whole number 1. So 10 3/4 times 1, it's just going to be 10 3/4. How do we feel about number 4? Nice. And then number 5, we had 1/12 times 1 6/7. And we want to know, how does that compare to just 1 6/7? Well, if we're multiplying it by 1/12, 1/12 is less than the whole number 1. So if we're multiplying 1 6/7 by 1/12, it will be less than just 1 6/7 on its own. How do we feel about number 5? Show me on your hands. How do we feel about number 5? Okay, 5 for 5. Nice. Okay, and then before we go on to the next page, we had number 9. So we were supposed to order them from least to greatest. So if I'm looking at these, I notice that the fraction they all have in common is 5/6. So that means I need to focus on the other fraction in each problem, which is 1 8/9, 1/4, 10 1/12, and 6/6. So I'm ordering least to greatest, so I need to think, okay, which one of those is the smallest? Well, these two are mixed numbers, so they're above 1, so I'm not going to look at them. There are higher numbers. So that leaves 1/4 and 6/6. Well, 6 over 6, they're the same. So that is the same as the whole number 1, which means 5/6 times 1/4 is my smallest. Then I have 2 mixed numbers plus 6 over 6, which is the whole number 1. Well, the 2 mixed numbers are greater than 1. So 5/6 times 6/6 is my second one. Then I have 2 left. I have 1 8/9 and 10 1/12. Well, 1 8/9 is smaller than 10 1/12. So then I would have 5/6 times 1 8/9 as my third one. And finally, the largest one is 5/6 times 10 1/12. How did we feel about number 9? How do we feel about number 9? Okay, how do we feel about this first page all together? Okay.
For number 9, I accidentally did it the opposite
Ah.
way, but it was the same because I thought it was
Good.
greatest,
You just
but I
flipped
just
it.
numbered it wrong.
Got it.
Because I thought
You thought it was greatest to least. Sure. So some of you, when I was coming around, I was asking you how the homework went, and you were giving me 3s and 4s. Could I say that maybe we're all more towards a 4 and a 5? Would you agree with that? Maybe? Okay. Okay. Let's look then at our last question. Let's then look at our last question when our voices are off, which is number 12. So for number 12, there we go. Erin is making fruit salad. Voices off. Erin's making fruit salad. For each bowl of fruit salad, she needs 2/3 of a cup of strawberries. How many cups of strawberries will she use if she makes 18 bowls of fruit salad? So we would need to take the amount of cups of strawberries she needs for every bowl and multiply it by the amount of bowls she's making. So we would take 2/3 times 18, which would get us 36/3. Well, 36/3, that is an improper fraction. So when we ask how many times does 3 go into 36, it goes in 12 times with nothing left over. So our answer would be 12 cups or 12 cups of strawberries. How do we feel about number 12? How do we feel? Just number 12 first, okay? And then how do we feel about all of the homework? All of the homework. Okay. Yeah? Okay. And are there any questions? Richie.
Really, for number 12, do you recognize that you could do 18 times 2, then do number 3 before the 36?
You're right. You're absolutely right. All right. Any other questions on our homework? All right. Nice job, 5th grade. What we're going to do next, and my virtual learners, you will have this as a part of your daily post. My in-person learners, you have it on the homeroom page under in-person learning. You guys, for in-person, you'll be going into Google Classroom. Then you will be going to our homeroom page. Make sure you always go to classwork. You are going to go down to in-person learning, and notice how there's a Friday, February 19th post. Well, today is Friday, February 19th. Click on it. You are going to complete this Google form, and then you will be able to play Prodigy with your volume off. Now, when we are working on our Google form, should we be talking? No. If we do well with that, do I usually let you talk for the rest of the time when everyone's done? I do. However, if there's talking while people are still working on their Google form, we won't be talking at all. So it's up to you. Take your time on this Google form because it does let me know, okay, which multiplying skills with fractions and mixed numbers are we doing well with? Which ones could we use a little more practice on? So it's going to go over all the different skills we've done so far. Will, do you have a question? Okay. So I will be dismissing you guys to grab your Chromebooks. Nice job with correcting homework.